Childcare. No. We'll start by just having a look at, this is the general award. You can't sign up for the whole award. It's made up of the different components. And for some strange reason, I have the word mandatory there at the bottom of that. That's not required, makes no sense in this case. But if you want to know more about it, you'll actually find out all about the awards by go to nightschool.ie/childcare. But here's a summary, and John will know better than I about the courses running this year.
Yeah, so you'll see there, it's split into mandatory and elective. So you see there's 6 mandatories and 2 electives. So what's running this term? So work experience communications, if you have work placement, we said earlier. Child development is actually running. Child health and well-being, early care and education practice, early play. So actually all the mandatories are being offered. And when it comes to the electives we're running creative arts, special needs, and safety and health at work. Okay.
If I have one of these electives, let's say I have word processing done already, does that cover me?
That counts,
okay,
yeah,
and if I have communications and work experience done from a previous course, that's covered?
That's covered as well, yeah.
No,
again,
I do.
Just the thing to point out there is the work experience, you'd have to still do the 120 hours in a childcare setting.
Okay, yes.
Yes. Yeah.
And also that number there, 5N, there, I mean, it depends on what age you are. You could have done a communications and work experience, a previous specification, it will have a different number.
And actually to point those out, they're not valid if you're doing this award now.
Okay, yeah.
Your previous modules would have to have the 5N in front of them. If they're a W or a D or a G, they're older awards and they're outdated now. Yeah. So just could I just point out, for someone looking to start off, let's just say this is your first time doing childcare and you want to get into it, or if you want to become an SNA as well, like, but childcare, what modules should I start off with? We always recommend that you start off with child development is a good one to start off with. Okay, it lays the foundations down. So if you're thinking about starting from scratch, I would recommend child development as a good starting point. Okay.
So what I was going to ask you, sorry, how long would it take me to do the full award if I started now?
So if you started now, it all depends, I suppose, how many modules you'd sign up for each term. So you have to get your 8 modules done. So we'd be definitely saying you want to be doing 2 per term. So that would leave to 4 semesters then.
So if I did 2 in spring, I'd have another 2, because the ones we run in spring, we'll try to run the other ones then in the autumn again, and keep cycling through them.
And often then what we do we have a summer term, depending on the uptake, we'd have a summer term where we'd run another one. So actually in a year and a half, you could probably get it done on a part-time basis.
Yeah, which is not too bad. If you were doing it full-time by day, it would take you a school year anyway, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would, definitely.
So just to have a look, maybe just quickly at the individual courses, child development, this is marked here as a mandatory. It doesn't mean, mandatory here means if you're going for the childcare level 5 award, this needs to be done eventually.
Yep. That's exactly. And
shall I just carry on?
Just with child development, there's one thing. Again, there's an on-site exam in child development. So you'd have a project, 70% of it is done online remotely, but the last 30% exam is written, and that will be held in the campus. Yeah.
Early care and education practice, and also a mandatory.
Yeah. And what you're going through here is the legislation around childcare, really, looking at the whole guidelines.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I keep noticing things on the screen. That would cost €175, and what's also written there is €123 concession. What we'll do is at the end we'll go through. There are different prices depending on, there are discounts. So with a discount, that's 123, and many people have them because you're maybe in receipt of an old age pension, or you're on some social welfare. But we can have a look at them towards the end. Child health and well-being.
Yeah, so again, that's a mandatory module. And what you actually cover in this is how to change the baby's nappy, how to heat a bottle, all the basic things you would do if you're looking after a child.
Education and play.
Yeah, so play again is obviously as the title says, it's all to do with playing. And what you do here is you look at the different toys and the different games and stuff that can be used when you're working maybe in a preschool.
It's a very popular one. SNA or special needs assisting.
Yeah, and I suppose just to give a longer description on this, is the question we get all the time is, how do I become an SNA? You know, now this is, I suppose, there's a lot of information out there about it. But what I would say is the first thing you need to do is do this SNA level 5 module. Now, as we said earlier, this module is one of 8. Now, depending on the school setting that you go to, some schools will want all 8 modules. Some schools will need the 1 module. Some schools will need a level 6 as well. But if you're new to all this and you're starting off, what I'd advise you to do is do the SNA level 5 module, try and get some work experience in a school, see if you like it, and get to know a principal or a teacher in the school, get some advice. But definitely this is the first step.
Am I right in thinking that the minimum job requirement for the SNA is a junior cert?
That's correct, yeah.
So in effect, what you're doing is, like every job, you're competing with expectations and you're competing with your peers. So it's your employer, it's what they expect from you. And they can start off by expecting the SNA. Yeah.
Yeah, SNA 5. And just to point out, I suppose, what a lot of people do is they do the SNA 5 module, then they do the SNA 6 module after that, you know. But yeah, so definitely it's one of our most popular courses.
Creative arts.
So again, that's just another elective that you can do and to get your 8 modules. It's in this, what you're doing is you're actually, it's a very hands-on practical subject where you're going to be doing little projects like you were doing if you were in preschool with kids.
Can I just skip back there to the list of so the electives here, you just need to do 2. So it's up to you to pick which 2 you want to do.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So moving forward. Did I skip out on one that we're actually running? Can we go back and have a look? Safety and health at work?
Yeah, so safety and health at work is an elective. And with that, with safety and health and work, we'll be talking about that shortly when we come to health.
I think I put it into the healthcare professional section, did I?
Yes.
So the slide must be coming up, so just in case we missed it.
Yeah.
The level 6 childcare award then is the 6M.
Yeah. And I suppose what's the difference between level 5 and 6? To be a room leader in a preschool, you have to have level 6. It's a legal requirement.
Oh. So you have to do all 5 of the mandatories and you have to do 3 of the electives.
Yeah, 3 of the electives. So, and if you have done level 5 already in the last few years, and it's a recent award, you'd actually have to do 7 modules because 1 module can carry over. So in that scenario, we'd have a lot of people doing the 5 mandatories and 2 electives. Now, just to point out, what are we running this term? We're running early childhood curriculum, we're running social and legal studies, and we're running work experience communications as the mandatories. And then in the electives, we're running disability awareness, SNA, and supervision in early childhood.
Okay. And of course, they'll be running on, you'll have to pay attention to the nights they're running, because obviously you can't do a course that's running on the same night. You know, you can't do 2 courses that are running on the same night. But anyway, so that's why if you're selecting. Does that make sense to you? No.
Yep. No, that's perfect.
Okay, so here's one of the mandatories, early childhood curriculum.
Yeah, so early childhood curriculum is one of our electives, and again, you're going through the curriculum that's covered when you're working with in preschools.
Okay. We've got our social, legal, and health.
Social, legal, and health, again, looking at the whole. This is in level 5, we talked about education and practice. This is the follow-on, looking at, again, the legislation around it. And just to say about the curriculum, I suppose what you'll be looking at that is looking at Childcare and Ashter in preschools.
Oh, okay. Back to SNA again, level 6.
Yeah, so again, you have to have level 5 done before you do the level 6. The level 5 SNA module has to be done. It is a requirement for us. You won't be able to enroll in level 6 otherwise. Now, what's the difference between level 5 and level 6? Level 5 is very practical based. You do all the stuff in terms of helping someone with some sort of a special need. You go through, there's a skills demonstration, whereas at level 6 then it's more theory based and there's 2 assignments, you know. And I suppose at level 6, again, like all our level 6 courses, you're looking at more of a leader role within an organization.
You're not actually asking me to have the whole of level 5 childcare done, just make sure I have SNA level 5 done, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Supervision in early childhood care.
Yep. So again, this is one of our electives that's running this term. It's something that links very closely to some of the stuff you've covered in